think of humans as organic computers, the body being the hardware and the consciousness being the software. And we're constantly wanting to upgrade the firmware.
We're the original computers.
From, right?
Yeah.
I mean, I'm like a 1977 model. Doing pretty good. You know, I'm
Cherry 1983. That's me.
Yeah, many ways to upgrade the physical hardware, which is where all of the the sauna and the cold plunging and the yoga comes from. But often to upgrade the firmware is really, I think of other human beings as living, walking code.
Yes.
And they are permeating that code all the time, whether they're conscious to it or not. The thing that I've noticed is how you really are able to access someone else's codes is through reverence. True reverence, like truly, regardless of, we play on the 3D level. So this person's opinion and whether I agree with it or not, political, religious, whatever, the idea, if there is a way for me to honor and give reverence to this other human being as a living, breathing embodiment of the divine, playing its part, its role in my reality, I'm receiving. And they have access to my codes. And the moment there's reverence, boom, firmware starts upgrading. So forgiving to the extent that you can, to the extent that you have the ability. You can forgive something at this layer, but then your consciousness expands and you forgive at this layer, and you can feel the heart opening more, which is then the ability to open portals as you open up the receivership of your antenna, right? Which comes through the reverence of understanding what, to the level that you can, right? Through the living of your life and the experience, what you can give reverence to, this multidimensional energy, this non-physical energy that is pure potentiality, and your access to it comes through, the cleanest access comes through the heart portal, through forgiveness, which then opens up this ability for reverence. And when the code is upgraded, when the firmware is upgraded, it's just a shift in consciousness. It's not I have to unravel this program. I have to convince myself I believe something else. There's plenty of coaching techniques that kind of walk someone through, but through just energetic processing, and we're going to get into more inner child work you were going to share, but is that forgiveness really begins to open that, and then your ability to access reverence then allows you to start really accessing more and more and more and more code. And this is what will allow someone to, sort of reveal themselves to be multidimensional. Oh, wow, I have a lot of gifts that are coming online now. I couldn't, see, I didn't have clairvoyance. Now I do. I speak light language. All of these things that start to come online as we work through the kinks.
That's the witchiness. That kundalini starts going, and then your whole body starts gyrating around, and then it's this explosion of life force energy.
Yes. But as we work through the kinks of any part of the piece of the body mind that is still kind of stuck in old pattern. So that's the back and forth. You sort of have this shadow work, which is really allowing yourself to drop into your human experience and just feel whatever wants to transmute, because it's all energy. And when you allowed the floodgates of grief to pour through you, the opposite of that, joy, is able to also come. So that and that is what leads to the sort of, if we're thinking dark, light, right, shadow, light, that's
Yep.
what leads to the light. That's what allows itself to now be revealed, who and what I really am. And as we've been on this precipice of leading edge, especially the big initiation of 2020 and COVID, collectively what we're going through is there are many people awakening to a reality of more energetic and multidimensional sensory perception, telepathy, etc., and intuitive, empathic, that we call quote unquote witchy.
It's something we all possess.
At any stage of the game, the ego is sly. The ego can find its way in, and that's where my discernment, if we're going to, where I'm constantly witnessing, at least from my own intuitive knowing, my radar of this is slightly out of integrity, showing up in one of my containers, and I try to be as discerning as possible because we have over the years started creating different stacks of ways in which we use the term portal, a wormhole, into another dimension, and inside of that there's a larger receivership. It's intensified, so your ability to release patterns that are no longer serving, and your ability to absorb new code that is always available to you whenever you're ready to receive it and make room to receive it, which is through the processing of the emotions. Boom, like it happens, and it happens inside that portal. Now, just like any experience that where your consciousness or your heart even may be wider than it is in your normal everyday life, right? Or the consciousness sort of expands beyond your normal everyday life because you are a three-dimensional human. You are going to go live your life, and any part of your life that is not resonant to where you have now opened your heart or expanded your consciousness is going to reveal itself in the form of your relationships. And you have a relationship with everything, objects, your job, other people. It's going to reveal itself. And in order to find relief, which is the direction of expansion, you are going to have to get to know yourself. You are going to have to drop into the shadow and clear the cobwebs to allow this energy to move through and to begin to create a new reality that is now resonant with what is available for you.
It's connecting every single time back to your body, because we get so lost up here living in this cerebral world that actually everything, the whole universe, all of it, the portal is within inside of you. To be able to attune to what information is available for you. But you have to say yes. You have to say yes to it every single time, to go a little bit deeper, to push your edge a little bit more, to go a little bit further into the darkness, because that's where we are luminous warriors. That is where the healing is. Being able to say yes every single time.